It was announced a couple months back that bloob will be making the Silent Hill 1 remake. They were also responsible for the Silent Hill 2 remake, and it was very well received. Most people seemed to enjoy the experience. It had its flaws, but overall it was pretty good. I'm still not sure why exactly they went with 2 first. I'd assume that they might have only had one shot at the whole remake thing, so they just went with the most popular one. I don't know, it's still kind of strange the way that's panned out. I can't name a single remake series that started with the second game. Anyways, the point is that the Silent Hill 1 remake is encroaching upon us. I have a good feeling that they'll succeed with flying colors, but I have a lot of things I do and I don't want to see from them. Thanks to the Silent Hill 2 remake, we have a good idea of what the perspective will be like for the player. Silent Hill 1's a little bit different from 2 because it mostly has a camera with an over the shoulder kind of view. 2 has a much more fixed camera that's way farther back from James. There are times that the camera is more fixed and it does it to a great effect. The biggest example that I can think of is in the intro. The camera backs away and turns and twists as Harry goes down the alleys. It makes the part of the intro that much more memorable and creepy. I highly doubt they'll put the strange camera back into the remake, but it will make the intro weaker in my opinion. They also better not mess up the intro. During my time playing Silent Hill 2 Remake, there was something that I didn't really like that was changed about the original, and that's how combat focused it felt at times. I don't know if I just plain sucked, but it felt like I couldn't escape certain combat situations. There's times where I feel like it really wants you to fight your way out of situations. Silent Hill is not an action horror game, it's a survival horror game. I don't play Silent Hill to fight off droves of enemies. If I wanted that, I go play Dead Space or something. It doesn't make me feel afraid or fragile as what you'd want in a horror game. I need more situations where I can get away from whatever is attacking me. It doesn't even fit with James' character as well because he's just some guy. He's not John Rambo here. This is probably Bloober's way of appealing to more people, but I hope they tone it down in the remake. Something I hope they do tone up is the overall story of Silent Hill 1. When we look at how Silent Hill as a franchise has evolved, it's become a much more complex beast than its debut game. The characters are now tortured, and the plot is much more complex, is much more complicated. When you said, when you look at Silent Hill 1 in comparison, it comes across a lot more straightforward. That being said, I'm very curious how they're going to tackle the story. I'm probably going to get crucified for saying this, but the weakest part of 1 is actually its characters. Harry is one of the most boring protagonists in the franchise. He's just a guy looking for his daughter, and that's his entire character arc. There are some pretty interesting characters like Kaufman in the first game, and he's probably one of my favorites in the franchise, but most of them simply aren't as interesting as characters in future titles. I think the plot ends up falling a bit flat because I didn't feel that connection with the cast in the game. Ideally, I want more interactions with the cast and maybe some meaningful dialogue beyond "What happened to this town? Have you seen my daughter?" Give it some character. This is actually a pretty issue for sure for some people. I'm not asking that they make huge changes to the plot or anything, but just work on the quality of life issues with the plot itself. There is a possibility that they could go too far and change a lot, or they could stick very close to the original plot and characters. It's going to be interesting to see how everything goes because this is going to be a pretty big jump from the original if they decide to make the plot more alongside the recent games. Bloober seems very respectful of the original intentions in 2, so I don't think they'll go too far with it. While I'm talking about characters here, I want to have some type of additional content. What I have in mind is something along the sides of a side scenario with a character like Sybil. I think she would make the most sense out of everyone else. It would also be interesting to play as her because she's a cop and probably the most prepared character. She kind of just wanders off for the bulk of the plot, and it would be really interesting to see what exactly she does. It could also be like a born from a wish and give further development to her character as well. I don't think I would include this in the main game itself. Maybe it's something that you can be unlocked after beating the game, or a scenario that happens in New Game Plus. I would just like Sybil to have a bigger role because I feel like it could get more out of Harry. We could see more of his character and how he would bond with her over missing his daughter. I think that'd be a nice inclusion, but we'll see. So that's my wish list for the Silent Hill remake. Let me know what you guys want to see and what you don't want to see in the remake as well. Thanks for watching.